Got some storm clouds rolling in. Maybe that's an indication for what's to happen later. Hey Brad, do you want to bring the spirit box right in this closet with me? Okay. Yeah, so Brad's gonna bring the spirit box. What the fuck was that?
What happened?
There's something behind me. There's footsteps out there. What the fuck is that? Hello? My body cam is activated. Outside barn.
Alright. Here we are starting the investigation, going into the barn at the Bergen House.
Down. So what I'm thinking is maybe set up the tripod right here. We can do a EVP session, REM pod session right at the table.
Yeah.
I'll face my camera facing us, but also so I can capture anything possibly in the background. So I have one recorder I'm going to pretty much have rolling the whole time. Then I'll have one for the burst.
Okay.
Alright, so this is Derek and Brad to Bergen House, Bergen, New York. We are sitting outside at the barn where there's set to be activity. That light's probably not helping. I gotta remember to turn these off during the videos.
Yeah, the same thing at Hillview, we didn't realize they were still on. The activity here includes child spirits, the young lady that hung herself.
Actually, that's capturing it pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, so if something's over there, because this camera's capturing us, we have two cameras facing that way.
Yeah.
So if one of these go off, my body cam should be able to capture it over here.
Alright, do we want to start with the spirit box or we want to wait on that?
Maybe start with the EVP session.
Alright.
So right into this recorder right here, you can tell us your name. Let us know who we're communicating with. Put the recorder right next to the bear and the REM pod.
Excuse me, that was me. For anyone that is here with us, we've got a couple instruments here that will help you to communicate. If you...
Did you hear that yelp?
Yeah.
I think that's probably down the road, so.
Could be them coyotes too.
Yeah, that sounded pretty far off, so just documenting that.
If you touch this bear, grab a hold of his hand right here. His hand will light up. Let us know that you're here, wanting to communicate. Also, this device next to it, if you touch this antenna, it'll light up, make a bunch of cool noises. Again, will let us know that you're here. Catherine, are you here with us? If you are, can you touch one of my instruments here?
What if I walk to the back of the barn? Can you let me know if you don't want me back there? Can you let me know by touching one of these devices? Let me just walk back, because you had a K2 back there earlier, right?
It was 0. I went all the way back to the wall, and it was 0 the whole time. Did you hear that?
What was that? Yeah.
It sounded like a giggle.
Yeah.
And it was 0 the whole time. Did you hear that?
What was that? Yeah.
It sounded like a giggle. And it was 0 the whole time. Did you hear that?
What was that? Yeah.
It sounded like a giggle. And it was 0. And it was 0. And it was 0.
A lot of people have caught children. There's a lot of children's spirits on this property, and they like to play in the barn. Up in the loft, quite often they will get pictures of a little boy and a little girl playing jacks.
So if I'm walking back here, can you let me know if you don't want me back here by touching that REM pod? So if I'm walking back here, can you let me know if you don't want me back here by touching that REM pod? Can you let me know if you don't want me back here by touching that REM pod? There was a cough, right?
Yeah.
We'll just document that there's a cough.
If you're okay with me moving my stuff in here and hanging out for a while, taking over the space as my own, let me know.
I just had something move over here.
What's that?
I had movement in this corner. Are you in this corner with me?
Knock on the wall if you're in the corner.
We hear you like to walk around on the roof. Can you get up on the roof? We also heard that if you don't like people back here, you'd throw boards back here. We don't want to have you throw a board at us, so if you communicate another way, we'd appreciate it. What if maybe I just place a REM pod back here on a chair?
That might work.
K2's still flat.
These are telephone poles.
Yeah.
So these were put here when Mr. Favel redid the roof during the Depression. Now the girl that hung herself, it was between 1845 and 1855. They weren't sure of the exact dates because Bergen has had 3 major fires and it destroyed a lot of their records. We don't get a straight name out of her. She has told us several different names, so we just call her Catherine.
Catherine?
Because there is a Catherine in the house.
Okay.
She was the daughter of the German family.
Okay.
But she has shown herself here many times.
Like right on this pole right here?
This beam right here.
Beam.
They've asked her, where did you die? Because she committed suicide. She was a teenage woman. She was pregnant.
Yep.
And her...
Brad, it's early, man.
It's a cat. We're debunking it's a cat.
And
she
was having an affair with a married man who happened to be one of the justices.
Okay.
And he didn't want anything to do with it when he found out she was pregnant. So she became despondent and hung herself.
This beam, right?
Yeah. So this is the beam where she hung herself.
Hey, honey, are you here with us? I'm very sorry to hear about what happened to you. You know, both Derek and myself.
So your recorder is on
Our
the
parents.
REM pod, right?
Yeah. Both Derek and myself are our fathers, and neither one of us can imagine how you felt when the father of your child said he wanted nothing to do with it. Can you tell us how you felt that day when you were out here? Were you scared? Were you sad? Come on, honey, speak into this red light. We can hear you.
Or into this orange light.
Were you scared? Were you scared? Were you scared? Wonderful getting anything down here.
Yeah. It's dark back here pretty quick.
What's that?
It's dark back here pretty damn quick.
It does.
So I'm just going to make sure we're on each straddling this side so that way this camera's still catching it.
Do you like the fact that we're in your area of the barn?
Ooh, here's something. Something walking on top. Want to turn that off for a minute? Oh, it's rain.
Yeah, it's raining. It started earlier than it was supposed to.
Yeah. Okay. That must have been what I heard.
What's up?
That must have been what I heard.
Okay.
We might not be able to get to the back of the house.
No, probably not.
It's fine. We can just keep going in here until...
Do you want us to leave your area of the barn?
So we do hear rain on the roof of the barn, so we might have to cut our time outside short. But we're going to stay in the barn as long as our equipment's not going to continue getting wet. We do hear rain on the roof of the barn, so we might have to cut our time outside short. But we're going to stay in the barn as long as our equipment's not going to continue getting wet.
Can you speak just so that we know you are present?
Alright, so file number 6, we are back in the barn. And this one is on my burst recorder. We're just going to take some digital stills. We still have the cameras going. Did you hear that bang?
That's you. Can you do that again?
File 6, 314. If you don't want me back here, can you touch this REM pod? Yeah, I don't know if that was further out though. Those other ones sound like they were right on top. Okay, I'm going to stand here with no lights on. Okay, I'm going to stand here with no lights on. So we are off to the mountains. Brad is outside with me for round 2 of outside. We are going to see what we can get potentially in the yard. They have reported activity of Native Americans, children, a whole bunch of different apparitions. Yeah, so Brad's gonna bring the spirit box. What the fuck was that?
What happened?
And we might make our way to where the mass grave is. It all depends on how much activity we get here, because once we get activity, we just roll with it. So.
Yeah, and then it also depends on the weather too.
Yeah.
Say bring him in here.